the Texans running backs is literally one of the two only position groups that I literally see no change going into the new season compared to last year. Well, besides, injuries. I think the players that are going to make the team at the running back spot are already pretty much penciled in. Obviously, Lamar Miller's going to make the team. I know there's a good chunk of fans that don't like Lamar Miller, but Lamar Miller is a good running back. I'm not going to say he's Ezekiel Elliott good, Todd Gurley good, because he's obviously not. But he's an above average running back, and with a good offensive line, he can be really productive. The Texans are clearly going to hold on to Lamar Miller. I know there's some people that want him to be traded or want him to be cut, but to me that makes absolutely no sense. Lamar Miller is staying on the team for at least one more year, and hopefully with an improved interior offensive line, he's able to be more productive, because a lot of people don't know this, but never ever in his entire career has Lamar Miller ever had a top 20 offensive line, and this dates back to when he was in Miami as well. So Lamar Miller has pretty much been running behind a bottom half of the league offensive line every single year, so we haven't really been able to see what Lamar Miller can really bring with a dominant offensive line. And if we're being honest, Bill O'Brien is not using Lamar Miller to his full capabilities. He's using him wrong. He keeps running him down the middle like if he was a power back, when he should be running him outside where he can get into open space, because once Lamar Miller's in open space, that's when he becomes more dangerous. But Lamar Miller is a lock to make the team. I think that's pretty obvious to anyone, honestly. The next guy that's a lock to make the team is Foreman. Now, Foreman suffered an Achilles injury last season around mid-November. Achilles injuries take quite a while to really heal, around 9 months. So Foreman probably won't be back till like early on in the season, like around week 4, week 5, maybe week 6. I don't see him participating in OTAs, minicamp, training camp. At least I hope not, because I don't want the Texans to rush him, because I really liked what I saw from Foreman last season. I think if Foreman would have stayed healthy, I think Foreman could have easily been the starter over Lamar Miller, and I think maybe the Texans could have parted ways with Lamar Miller. That's why earlier in the video, when I was talking about Lamar Miller, I said Lamar Miller is here at least one more year, because I believe if Foreman comes back healthy, good to go, like his Achilles doesn't affect him at all, I do think Foreman is good enough to overtake Lamar Miller for that starting running back spot, even though the Texans kind of run more of a running back by committee type of offense. They don't really just throw Lamar Miller out there and give him 20 carries a game anymore. They did year 1 with Lamar Miller, but after last season they were kind of splitting carries, him and Foreman. But I do think if Foreman comes back healthy, good to go, I do think Foreman is capable of overtaking Lamar Miller for that starting spot, thus allowing the Texans to part ways with Lamar Miller and saving around, I want to say, approximately $7 million in cap. So I do think Foreman can be, or could be, a good running back. That injury is just really worrisome. That injury is sometimes career ending to some players. I know other players come back good, but hopefully, since Foreman is young, he's ready to go. The only flaws I see in Foreman's game is his pass blocking. He needs to work on that, but that's a lot of young running backs. A lot of young running backs don't know how to pass protect. So, I mean, that's understandable. And another thing, I guess it's a habit of Deontay Foreman. I mean, Foreman's a big guy, 6'1", over 230 pounds. This guy should be, running over other people, or at least trying to run over other people. He does it occasionally, but a lot of the time, Foreman tries to bounce the ball outside when he should be pounding it in there. Like, you're a big guy, 230. You're a big running back. You're the type of running back that can easily get those tough extra yards. But again, every now and then you see Foreman trying to bounce it outside, which, I mean, he totally can do, because despite being his size, Foreman is still pretty damn fast for his size. So he can definitely do it, but I think he'd benefit more from just pounding it in there and getting those 2-3 yards he could easily get by just pounding it in there, instead of bouncing it outside and going for no gain and trying to look for the big play. So hopefully Foreman comes back healthy. I really hope so, because I really do think Foreman can be our franchise running back. But again, Achilles injuries are tough. Now the next guy, Alfred Blue. A lot of people hate Alfred Blue, but Alfred Blue is, in my opinion, a definite lock to make the team, because O'Brien likes Alfred Blue, and I also like Alfred Blue. I mean, he contributes on special teams, and he's just a decent running back to have around. I mean, people, I don't know what they want from Blue, honestly. Like, do you want him to rush for 1,000 yards? No, Blue is your third string running back. He's probably going to be your backup running back to start the season. I mean, what do you want from him? The only chances he got to play last year was against Pittsburgh and Indy, and Blue went off. I think Blue had the best game one of our running backs has had all season long against Pittsburgh. I think the only one that comes close is the game Deontay Foreman had against Arizona, the game he got hurt. But Alfred Blue, he's a good third string running back. I really don't see there a problem with Alfred Blue. And honestly, I feel like Alfred Blue even fits the scheme better than Lamar Miller. I'm not too sure what O'Brien's going to do next season, because I do know he's kind of changing up the scheme a bit. Maybe Lamar Miller fits this new scheme better, but Alfred Blue, like, he just ran more efficiently than Lamar Miller did all of last season. I mean, Blue's durable. I mean, what do you want from a third string running back? To me, there's no problem with Alfred Blue. And the next guy, Tyler Ervin. I think Tyler Ervin is a definite lock to make the team. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I think Tyler Ervin comes in back from his injury, and he's going to be that little running back that they use to throw passes to. Like New England does it, and I'm pretty sure O'Brien, he's been wanting to do it. But in my opinion, the Texans should have kept Andre Ellington to do that instead of Tyler Ervin. But I have no issue with Tyler Ervin, because Tyler Ervin can return kicks. I really don't know when Ervin will be back, but he should be back by week 1, because he did get hurt week 1 last year against the Jaguars. And Ervin, again, I don't see him being a running back. I really don't. I mean, he's going to be the 4th string running back. I just see him being more of like that little scat back, the one you throw a pass to and he can make something happen sometimes. That type of guy, the guy you send on the wheel route to burn a linebacker in coverage, or simply a guy you can line up in the slot, because that's what the Texans were practicing with Tyler Ervin last season. So personally, I'd label Tyler Ervin more as an offensive weapon rather than just a running back, but he is listed as a running back, so he will be taking up a running back roster spot if he does indeed make the team, which I'm pretty sure he will, because honestly, I think these guys are locks to make the team. I don't think a rookie can come in here and take one of their spots. I really don't see it happening. And the last guy, Jay Prosh. See, Jay Prosh, yes, I understand he's a fullback, but I'm just gonna throw him in with the running backs. Now, Prosh isn't a bad player by any means. He's not. I just think Prosh is underutilized. If I remember correctly, Jay Prosh was only used on 10% of offensive snaps and 50% of special team snaps. So, you're not really using Jay Prosh. I do think Jay Prosh can be utilized more because, in my opinion, Jay Prosh is a pretty damn good fullback. Not, Vontae Leach good, how he was in those Arian Foster prime days, but Jay Prosh is a good fullback. I think he should be utilized more. I do think Jay Prosh will make the team. Will I be surprised if he doesn't? No. Why? Well, mostly because of the tight ends, but we have 4. But, I think Jay Prosh is also a lock to make the team, so from the top of my head, I think Miller's a lock, Foreman's a lock, Irvin's a lock, and Blue's a lock, and Jay Prosh. So that's 5 backs, and O'Brien loves to carry a bunch of backs, so last year he carried 6, I want to say, with Jordan Todman. Hopefully this year he carries 5, because I don't want to waste 7 roster spots on a running back, or backs. So hopefully O'Brien limits it a little bit less this season, because again, do not want to waste a bunch of roster spots on running backs. I'd rather use that on special team specialists. But anyways, that's all I really have for you guys today. Comment down below if you guys realistically think one of the rookie running backs that we picked up from undrafted free agency, if you think one of them can make the team, because personally I don't think so, but again, I could be wrong. One of these guys could come out and completely dominate in preseason and in training camp and and practices. So anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.